families, and I wanted to ask you guys something tonight. Did you know that the hospice report of 2012 showed that in 2011 there were over 1.5 million terminal patients in America? This means over 1.5 million people with simply an expiration date in pain, suffering, and over 1.5 million families suffering along with them. Now, I'm no doctor who has taken a Hippocratical oath. I am thankfully never had to deal with the heartbreak of having someone close to me or my family be terminally ill. But I'm simply a person who believes that euthanasia, and if you don't know what that means, it's assisted suicide, should be legal for terminally ill patients. And a statistic on statisticbrain.com, verified by Gallup Poll, Angel Fire, and Nightingale Alliance, showed that 55% of terminally ill patients die in pain, which means that the majority of those over 1.5 million people spend the rest of their short lives, most likely, in pain up until the time of death. And to me, this just doesn't seem right. I think there should be other ways. And the terminally ill also pose financial burdens on their caregivers or their family members. A study on CommonwealthFund.com found that nearly of the terminally ill patients on healthcare reported that their families were facing economic hardships due to their illness and the billing and costs that go along with it. So should this pain and hardship be allowed to continue? Because that's what's happening as long as euthanasia is not legal. And some people would disagree. They might say that it's unethical for euthanasia to be legalized because it would force doctors that have taken a Hippocratical oath to help patients end up killing them. Or it would give doctors too much power, almost a godlike power, over people's lives. Some might say that it denies people a final growth phase spiritually and religiously, and that the terminally ill could lack the mental stability because of their disease to make those kinds of life and death decisions. They might say it's unnecessary because we have treatments available, but the term terminal illness means basically that we have no cure and you will most likely die from it, or that scientifically just ending someone's life that has a disease before the disease takes it can prevent or halt medical research and advancement. But all of these arguments have a solution. People say it's unethical to do certain things and legalize euthanasia because of certain reasons, but it's unethical to allow pain to continue so that research can continue. There are rules of research and for a reason, and that is one of them. Also, it's unethical to force someone's religious beliefs of denying someone the final growth onto someone else who may not have those beliefs. And a report of Oregon, which is the only state in the United States that allows legal euthanasia, showed that 96 patients in 2011 decided to have prescriptions written up for euthanasia to take. But of those 96, there were 20 of them that ended up not taking them, and they chose to continue with the disease. So just because that euthanasia is available does not mean that everyone's just going to do it. So research would still take place. And for those arguing that they may not have the mental stability to make those decisions, for some people that may be true. They might be too far gone in their disease to make those kind of decisions. but for the majority, depending on when they're diagnosed, most of them are of sound mind still for at least a little bit longer to make kinds of decisions about their end of life. And it's also important to know that doctors don't have to be the ones to perform euthanasia. Anybody can give someone a pill or injection. Those kinds of things can be worked out in the legalization of euthanasia, or new jobs, careers could be created for people specifically to become euthanasia givers. And doctors don't have to be the ones to do it, like I said, but keeping that in mind, a poll found on euthanasia.cc that was given to medical practitioners showed that 54% of them agreed that euthanasia should be legalized. And it's easy to be against something like euthanasia if you've never had it direct you personally in a way. So let's imagine that you get out of class tonight, you go home, and you get a call, and it turns out your mother's in the hospital, and shortly later she gets diagnosed with Huntington's disease, which is a genetic disease that progressively debilitates its victims and ultimately kills them. Your family, you, your mother, they get together, talk about the doctor's visit, things like that, and it's found that she still has a few good years left. So you go about your daily lives, but in the back of your mind, knowing how short of time that you have left. Well, those few years are up, and something is going to need to happen because you notice your mother is going downhill quick right before your eyes. So, if euthanasia was legalized, she would simply get a pill, take it, and it's over. That easy. Or, euthanasia being illegal, she would still feel as if her end has come. She doesn't want to go through the final stages of this debilitating disease. And you respect her position, her decision, and although it pains you so much, you agree to help her assisted suicide because she has already tried suicide, and given her debilitated condition, she cannot succeed in it. And with tears in your eyes, you will take a needle, push it in her vein, push down on that plunger, watch as her heart stops, and in your eyes and many other people's eyes, you were just doing what your mother wanted, her last wish. But in the eyes of the law, you just committed murder. You're probably going to go to jail. So which situation sounds better to you? Legal euthanasia, illegal, what would happen? So I hope that the decision is easy for you, as it is for me, to say that I believe in legal euthanasia, because chances are, at some point in your life, you may have someone in your family, someone close to you, or even you yourself that would want euthanasia as a legal viable option. So think about what I've said tonight, let it sink in, and know that there are other options besides a slow, painful death. And right now, that option is just within reach, and all we have to do is fight for our right to die on our own terms and before a disease would kill us. Thank you.